Okay, remember that they are changing my voice. It doesn't take the most insightful analyst to see that there's nothing wrong with me. That I've been through a whole lot in life, and I've masterfully moved, and I've lived the most righteous life and the most master martial art life ever possible. So the whole time there's a bunch of weirdos and mental health and new age and all kinds of weirdos trying to get me to take on their philosophy and say, oh, people trying to get me to be gay because they think that would balance my life. And that's what a lot of these movements these days are about. Okay? And that's wrong. Okay? No one is more heterosexual than I am, and no one will ever be. No one's more mature and masculine naturally with this kind of righteous and profoundly graceful masculinity, not some kind of brute forced masculinity. And so when we're talking about me carving the broken heart on the back of my forearm under my wrist, this was the normal human response to an extreme situation, okay? When you consider everything. I mean, I live on a ranch most of my life, and I had to switch out my shoes. Like, I get a new pair of shoes and they get dirty, faster than other people's, because I play basketball on the basketball court that was here, but it's a dirty court, right? There's dust that blows onto it, and you can sweep it all day. At some point, people park their cars, and it kind of, at some point, people park their cars, and at some point, it becomes this loose gravel kind of basketball court, okay? And therefore, a lot of times I'd have dirt on my car and dirt on my shoes. Okay. I'm a very clean person, mind you. You could tell when you look at me that I'm a clean person. You probably could tell that I'm from an upper middle class family or whatever you want to call it. Because I look very healthy. My parents are doctors. Very healthy look. Like I look like the healthiest person around, the most handsome, what have you. But there was the dirt on the car, right? The dirt on the shoes. Okay, now again, I'm not some rich snob. I'm not rich. I don't, not in terms of money. I don't care about your social status. I did not grow up hanging around rich people and sticking my nose at other people. Now, my first girlfriend was a gynecologist's daughter who eventually became a news reporter. Okay, and I was like 15 years old or something. And, one of my best friends growing up is the neighbor. Okay, probably consider my best friend there. I think it's safe to say is my best friend growing up. And he was the son of a doctor as well, but that wasn't planned that way. Okay, that's fucking shallow. That is something else. Okay, now as we look at this thing, right, the broken heart carved in the back of my wrist. If you really love someone enough, it's like Romeo and Juliet. Okay, they don't have to be dead for you to want to die. Now, a lot of people might argue with me about this all day. Say, oh, you're one of those, and he's clingy, he's probably controlling. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Love is not your, pop singer, K-pop, kind of, ghetto chick who doesn't care about guys. It's not some rich, arrogant thing. Okay? When you really love somebody and you've been cheated out of them, or they die, you want to die. That's the normal human response. Okay. And there's a lot of songs that suggest that by a lot of people who are partially shallow, partially romantic or something approaching romantic. How do I live without you? If you take your love away from me, I'll go crazy. Things like this, right? This one Master P soundtrack song. With, the Sons of Funk R&B singers. They say, I don't want to go on living without you. Okay, and if you say bye, 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 then take my heart with you. That's part of why they changed the sound of my voice. I mean, these are some petty, you don't understand these Walter Peck Matrix people. You kind of do as a society, but you don't really grasp it, or else you would never, ever, ever conform to their constructs. You wouldn't. They got to your head. It's how propaganda works. Propaganda tells you a bunch of lies that you see through, and then you behave exactly the way they plan for you to behave. It's like politicians. The propaganda that has to do with the state and the military and the politicians, okay, they know that you don't have a high opinion of the state, the military, and politicians. basically, unless you're from a military family or something. It's designed to get you to respond to what they're doing a certain way. Okay? And these are some petty ass motherfuckers. These are some petty, shallow, thoughtless, may as well be scatterbrained, to some degree scatterbrained, foolish people. Now again, I don't care how smart you are. But if you go way out of your way to persecute the most righteous person ever, and you're not, somebody chewing on your own foot most of the day or something, then you're guilty as fucking hell. Because you're more likely to keep running into a wall over and over again than to make that mistake, okay, and not think it's a big deal. When's the last time any of you saw somebody running into a wall again and again? Then why the fuck would they run into the gate again and again? Like some kind of dumb Tweedledum type of motherfucker. Now, you see how I got bitter for there in that moment? That's the normal response. And if you're not feeling bitter too, it's abnormal. Injustice is supposed to piss you off. It's supposed to upset you. Okay? An injustice for one is an injustice for all. These people did the most righteous person that ever lived and ever will live wrong. So they can act like some kind of petty Neroian ninny, Nero from Rome. So they can act like some kind of heel-clicking, pan-worshipping cult sissy that molests kids and is friends with those people that do. These people did Christ wrong so they could be more of a bitch than Rick Moranis in Spaceballs or The Princess Bride, if that's even that motherfucker in that second movie. Whoever that motherfucker is, it looks like him. If that's not him. The guy, I switched to poisons while you weren't looking. To act like a motherfucking poison giving bitch. So they can impress their little gay little boy butt lovers. And I'm not bashing the LGBT community in this video at this point. But that's some bitch ass fucking shit. That's some fucking sissy pansy. Pan, meaning all for all the Greco-Roman deities. See how you see things? That's some pansy fucking punk shit that is profoundly disgraceful and trickles down to their offspring. Every generation. There's no words for how fucking stupid it is to persecute me. There's no words for how right I am to be upset about it. There are 9 million people starving to death on this planet every year. 3 million of them children. If you're tripping, wondering why I get pissed off, then you're a dumb motherfucker. There's no other way to look at it. You think 9 million people who are probably more honest and sincere than the viewers listening deserve to starve to death while you act like a capitalist, sissy, Cinderella, Tinkerbell motherfucker? And then Christ is being shunned, heartbroken, targeted by the same monsters that tell immigrants to go back to where they came from after coming here and spending all their money to get here and going through all the hardships and all the traveling, all the walking, dying in the desert, risk dying in the desert. You think that these sniveling, homeless, neglecting, corrupt, narcissistic, rape culture promoting, and rape culture is real because there's a bunch of people raped. And if people adjust their culture, there could be nobody getting raped. If people scramble to do what's right and to pinpoint what's right. But they're promoting doing what's wrong because they are some devil worshipping, kid stuffing, Tiny Tim abusing, crutches snatching, sniveling, pathetic, pitiful, cowardly, inferior gene having, just monsters, just toxic worms. They think what they're doing is smart. Like, hey, it's because I'm smart. Huh? It's because I'm smart. Yes, indeed. Yes, this is proceeding according to plan. And you think I'm supposed to play patty cake with these bitch-ass motherfuckers? I'll tell you. Now, I'm not promoting violence, folks. But if the world ended right now, explain to me why it doesn't deserve it, except for me and my parents.